Hey, mamas. In a perfect world, two parents commit to getting out of the way and joining forces to make child-focused decisions. But we aren't in a perfect world. We're in a divorce. And the sad reality is that divorcing spouses often get derailed by their own triggers and emotions. They use their children as pawns. The conflict ensues in front of the kids. And ultimately, everyone loses. I don't need to tell you how much is at stake here. And I also know that if you're here in this community, you are striving to divorce differently. You know that you can harness the power of your intuition and heart while being strategic, saving time, money, and heartache for you and your kids. But you might be surprised to learn that even if your ex doesn't join you at the table, you can move forward in the spirit of collaboration, and it will greatly benefit you to do so. That doesn't mean it's easy, but mark my words, it's worth it. So many of the mamas in our coaching program have hit this wall and have declared that they are done collaborating. I get it. But that's precisely when I tell them to lean in harder. And side note, it has nothing to do with putting up with anyone's bad behavior or being a doormat. Far from it. It's what I want to talk to you about today. I'm calling this conversation, I'm done, when collaboration goes awry. Hi there, mamas. Welcome to the Intuitive Divorce Podcast. I'm Kristen Noel, certified divorce coach and creator of the Best Self Intuitive Divorce, a game-changing program that transforms the experience and outcomes of divorce, one mother at a time. I call it Divorcing Differently. I'm here each week bringing you a quick message to support, inspire, and empower you to achieve the outcomes you want for yourself and your kids. So let's dive into today's episode. While marriage is a dance of two, you might be surprised to hear me say that divorce is actually a solo performance. Yes, you're negotiating with another person, but you're really negotiating with yourself. What? You're standing up for yourself and declaring, maybe for the first time, I can no longer deny what I see, know, and feel. I can no longer tolerate this unhealthy dance. I can no longer pretend that I am not suffocating, that I haven't lost pieces and parts of myself along the way. And in this suffering, where you feel beaten down and barely recognize yourself, you're expected to navigate this massive plot twist and make some decisions of significant consequence for yourself and your kids? It's a lot. I get it. In fact, I once stood where you stand. And I'll go out on a limb and say that if you're here, you are looking for a way to divorce differently, to not become yet another sad divorce statistic, to avoid the common narrative of retaining a shark of a lawyer and getting embroiled in a tug of war over the kids and an asset grab. Something tells me that you're ready to not only make massive change in your marriage, but in your life. You're ready to heal old wounds, break patterns, and transform the way you navigate life in all of its ups, downs, and all-arounds. Now, just because you want sustainable change, and just because you want to uncouple with consciousness, intuition, and heart, doesn't mean you don't want to employ strategy, tools, and make prudent choices so that you can save time, money, and unnecessary heartache. But hear me when I say this isn't woo-woo. This is strategic. And just because you want to show up in the spirit of collaboration doesn't mean you're going to be a doormat. Let me explain what I mean by that. Just the other day, I received a text from a mama in our program who was frankly at her wit's end and completely frustrated by trying to co-parent collaboratively. A core tenet of our program is communication and making child-focused decisions. It's a place where two warring factions can meet in the middle and agree for the benefit of the kids, or not. But believe it or not, it's also where people just can't get out of their own way. They're so committed to fighting that they don't recognize all the damage that's being done around them that could be completely avoided. I'm done with collaboration, this mama declared. Everything she suggested and conveyed to her ex about the kids and their experiences was being misconstrued and manipulated. She was getting nowhere and feeling angry and resentful as a result. Even though she wasn't getting the outcome she had hoped for, I reminded her that was still winning. She was showing up for herself, her kids, and her divorce in a way that she could feel good about, long after the ink is dry in her dissolution and the dust settles. In the meantime, I reminded her how important it was for her to stay the course no matter how it was received, no matter how disappointed, hurt, or frustrated she may feel. Remember that while 50% responsible parenting is less than 100%, it's so much better than 0%, and your kids are counting on you. The reality is that it's less than how others respond to us and treat us, and more about how we stay the course and answer for ourselves. We need to allow people to be who they will be. We can't control them or fix them or get them to change, but we can stand firm in the conviction of who we are and then establish firm boundaries to protect that. Consequently, we will also save ourselves a lot of suffering if we get back in our own lane. They won't like it, but too bad. They should have thought about that while behaving so badly. And hey, at least you're divorcing them. But sarcasm aside, in the best case scenario, you may even be able to influence your ex to get on board communicating and conducting him or herself in a more respectful and loving way. Hey, a mama can dream. Another mama in our class recently displayed this healing in motion, and I've got to say, it never gets old. Though she's still in the thick of her contentious divorce negotiations, I noticed a shift in her, and it was quite dramatic. Suddenly, her energy felt solid and calm. Though she was clearly not yet where she wanted to be, which is the end of the process, she embodied the grounded, intuitive, empowered essence of her best self. To be your best self isn't to live a perfect life. It's to live peacefully, truthfully, creatively, no longer squeezing yourself into places you no longer fit or maybe never did. It's to feel aliveness and to conduct yourself in a way that you can feel proud of. It's okay to be done with chaos, unnecessary arguing, and unproductive dancing back and forth. It's okay to be done with trying to make things work and even cut off direct communication if necessary. It's okay to be done with unhealthy relationships, and it's okay to walk away. What do you want to be done with? Done with being triggered? Done with betraying yourself? Done with pretending? Done with being manipulated, gaslit, and abused? Done with living a lie? Done with an unhealthy dance? Done with exhausting yourself and getting nowhere? Remember that fighting drains you. Getting triggered and embroiled in drama drains you. Repeating the same things and expecting a different result drains you. So find a way to plug the drain. Action, reaction. Don't beat yourself up when something isn't working. Applaud yourself for trying and recognizing what is going on, for pivoting and making a different choice. It's very healing and cathartic to find new ways to navigate life. That doesn't mean we won't hit bumps in the road. There's no such thing. It means that we can take radical responsibility for our own well-being. That is radical self-care, Mama. I bet that is what you want to remember when you look back on all of this on the other side. Isn't that what you want to model for your kids too? Yes, you can still show up in the spirit of collaboration and conflict resolution no matter who meets you at the table. Thanks for listening to today's episode, but more importantly, for making this time for yourself. If you're a professional, independent mother facing off with divorce, struggling with your emotions, worried about your kids and your future, and want a better way to navigate it all, I've got 2 ways to completely change the trajectory of your divorce and your life starting today. The first is our free divorce workshop. In this training, you'll learn the 3 steps to get off the emotional roller coaster and take control of your divorce so you can save time, money, and heartache for you and your family. Simply go to intuitivedivorce.com/workshop. And the second way is to book a free strategy call with our team, where we'll dive into your situation, your struggles, what you really want, and outline a path to get you there. For a short video and the booking link, go to intuitivedivorce.com/call. Check it out, and I'll see you inside. Now I have a favor to ask you, Mama. If you enjoyed this conversation and were inspired in your own divorce, please subscribe to this podcast so you don't miss future juicy talks. And I'd be so grateful if you'd leave a review so together we can help other mamas walking in the same shoes.